The cafeteria went silent the moment the teacher dumped the child's food into the trash, but no one expected the decorated military officer behind her to step forward and say, "That child is my daughter." And that was the moment everything changed. 12-year-old Maya Patterson never imagined that her first month at Westbridge Academy would feel this heavy. On paper, the school was everything a parent could want. Clean hallways, high test scores, shiny awards decorating the entrance, and smiling faces on brochures. But behind the polished image was a truth only the students whispered about. It wasn't easy being different here. Maya sat alone in the cafeteria every day, not because she preferred to, but because no one ever chose to sit with her. She was new, quiet, and trying her best to blend in. She wasn't used to being watched, but lately the stares felt louder than words. Still, she did what her father always told her: keep your chin up, you belong anywhere your feet stand. So today, Maya unpacked her lunchbox with a small, hopeful smile. Her dad woke up extra early to prepare her favorite baked chicken and fruit cup. It was his way of saying he loved her, even though his military schedule was unpredictable. The cafeteria buzzed with laughter and loud conversations. Groups formed instantly. Athletes sat with athletes, drama students with drama students, and social media kids sat in loud clusters capturing every moment for their pages. Maya, meanwhile, didn't look up. She took a bite of her sandwich and reminded herself that every day had the potential to get better. But today wasn't that day. The teacher WHO watched too closely. Ms. Laura Whitford marched through the cafeteria with her usual air of authority. Her red suit was perfectly pressed, her hair pulled into a tight ponytail. She didn't smile. She managed the school cafeteria the way some people manage bank vaults, strictly, with no tolerance for anything she didn't approve of. She believed rules mattered more than understanding. And when she saw Maya's lunchbox, her steps halted. She approached with sharp heels clicking like warnings on the floor. "Where did you get that food?" she demanded, her voice louder than necessary. Maya's shoulders stiffened. "My dad made it, Ms." Whitford folded her arms. "Students must eat school-approved meals. Outside food is not permitted unless the office approves it in writing." Maya blinked. "No one told me. I'm sorry." Her apology didn't matter. The teacher grabbed the lunchbox right out of her hands. "Food rules are school policy," she snapped. "You cannot bring this here." Before Maya could even process what was happening, Ms. Whitford turned and dumped the entire lunch into the trash can. Chicken, fruit, water bottle, everything. The cafeteria went silent. Someone gasped. Someone else pulled out a phone to record. Maya stood frozen, her chest tightening. That meal wasn't just food. It was her father waking up early after a 10-hour shift. It was love packed in foil. It was safety, and now it was gone. Her eyes burned, but she refused to cry. "Not here, not in front of everyone." "Next time, Ms. Whitford said sharply, "follow the rules." Maya whispered, "Yes, ma'am." But the teacher wasn't finished. "Students must be responsible. If you can't obey a simple rule about food, I wonder what other rules you ignore." The students watching exchanged awkward looks. Some wanted to speak up, but no one dared. Until a firm voice cut through the tension. "Is this how you speak to children?" The man in uniform. The entire cafeteria turned toward the entrance. Standing in the doorway was a tall, composed man wearing a decorated military uniform. The medals on his chest gleamed under the fluorescent lights. His eyes, calm but powerful, scanned the room before landing on Maya. Her breath hitched. "Dad." Major Anthony Patterson walked forward, boots silent, posture flawless. Even the security officer beside him stood straighter. He reached Maya and knelt, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You okay?" he asked softly. She nodded, but her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Ms. Whitford, suddenly tense, straightened her blazer and cleared her throat. "Sir, this is a private school facility. Parents must." He stood to full height. "I'm not here to interrupt your day," he said evenly. "I'm here because you called me." I didn't call anyone," she stuttered. "No," he said, "but the vice principal did, to commend Maya for her essay. I came to surprise her." The irony wasn't lost on anyone. He looked at the trash can, at the messy pile of food, at the trembling lunchbox sitting on its side. "Is this Maya's?" he asked quietly. Ms. Whitford swallowed. "She violated policy by bringing outside lunch. So you punished her publicly." "That is not punishment, that is procedure." Major Patterson's jaw tightened, not in anger, disappointment, a deeper kind. "Ma'am," he said, calm but firm, "I've spent 15 years serving my country. I've stood in war zones, disaster zones, and places where people had nothing left but dignity. And I've learned something. The fastest way to break a child's spirit is to embarrass them in front of their peers. The cafeteria could have heard a pin drop. Policies matter, he continued, but kindness matters more. A murmur rippled through the students. Ms. Whitford opened her mouth to defend herself, but the words wouldn't come out. The crowd speaks. From the back of the cafeteria, a student raised her hand timidly. Sir, she's done this before, she said softly. Everyone turned to her. She dumps students' lunches a lot, the girl continued, even when the food is harmless. Another student added, she yelled at my brother last year until he cried. A boy said, she threw away my food once too. For no reason. Voices rose careful at first, then braver. Major Patterson listened, eyes steady. He didn't interrupt. He didn't raise his voice. He simply turned back to Maya's teacher. Is this true? He asked. Ms. Whitford's face flushed crimson. Students exaggerate. They always exaggerate. But the room didn't buy it. His voice softened, the way a leader speaks when the truth cannot be ignored. What lesson does a child learn when good food is thrown away? When their meal, prepared by someone who loves them, is treated like trash. Ms. Whitford didn't answer. Maya looked up at her dad, surprised by how calmly he stood, how he never once raised his voice, yet somehow made everyone listen. He squeezed her hand gently. The meeting. Within minutes, the vice principal arrived, alarmed by the growing crowd. When he saw Major Patterson's rank, his expression shifted from confusion to urgency. We'll handle this immediately, the vice principal said. Sir, please join me in my office. Maya held his sleeve quietly. Do you have to go? Just for a moment, he said gently. I'll be right back. He bent down and kissed her forehead. You did nothing wrong. The words soothed her like warm sunlight. The truth comes out. In the meeting room, the vice principal pulled up a file. Major Patterson, I want to be transparent. We've received complaints about Ms. Whitford before, students feeling targeted or humiliated. But each time, she insisted she was enforcing policy. Major Patterson replied calmly, policies shouldn't hurt children. You're right, and we should have looked deeper. The vice principal rubbed his forehead. What happened today isn't something we can ignore anymore. The teacher's reason. When Ms. Whitford was brought into the meeting, she finally spoke, not with anger this time, but exhaustion. I wasn't trying to be cruel, she said quietly. I'm strict because I'm afraid. Afraid of losing control, afraid of chaos, afraid parents will blame me if anything goes wrong. Major Patterson nodded. Fear can make people harsh, he said, but it should never be taken out on children. Something in her expression softened for the first time. She whispered, I didn't realize how I sounded. The vice principal addressed her gently. You'll attend training, you'll reflect, and you'll rebuild trust. That must happen before you return to the cafeteria. Ms. Whitford nodded slowly. A new start. Outside the meeting room, Maya waited anxiously. When her father returned, she nearly ran into his arms. Are you mad at her? Maya asked quietly. No, he said. I'm disappointed in how she acted. But people can change if they're willing. Do you think she will? I think today opened her eyes. He knelt again. And you, Maya, showed courage just by standing here. She smiled, the kind of smile she hadn't felt in weeks. The next day, when Maya walked into the cafeteria the next day, something was different. Students waved at her. Some smiled. A few apologized for not speaking up sooner. Her table wasn't empty anymore. Two girls approached shyly. Can we sit with you? One asked. Maya nodded, surprised but grateful. As she unpacked her lunch, she noticed a bright sticky note on top of her box. Her father's handwriting read, "Proud of you, always." She touched the note gently before placing it beside her meal. The cafeteria felt warm today, alive, welcoming. And when Ms. Whitford entered, no anger burned in her eyes. She approached Maya slowly. I wanted to say, I'm sorry, she said sincerely. I was wrong yesterday, and I will do better. Maya nodded. Thank you. The teacher exhaled with relief. Change had begun, a stronger heart. Over the next weeks, Maya found her voice. She joined the debate club. She started talking to more classmates. Her father visited the school often, not to confront problems, but to support her achievements. Students who once ignored her now admired her strength, and teachers noticed her kindness, a kindness that didn't fade even after what happened. Her father reminded her every night, strength isn't loud, strength is choosing kindness even when you've seen the opposite, and Maya carried that with her like armor. The assembly. One morning, Maya was called to the auditorium. Hundreds of students filled the seats. On stage stood the vice principal, smiling. Today, he announced, we recognize a student whose resilience, kindness, and courage inspired positive change in our school. Maya stiffened. Please welcome Maya Patterson. The applause thundered. She walked on stage, cheeks burning, heart pounding. Her father stood backstage, eyes shining with pride. The vice principal handed her a certificate. You reminded us of the values we should never forget, he said. Respect, kindness, empathy. Maya swallowed the lump in her throat. When she looked at her father, he mouthed, you earned this. The last conversation, after the assembly, Maya walked out into the courtyard where her father stood waiting. You did amazing, he said. She hugged him tightly. Thanks for coming. I wouldn't miss it, he smiled. They stood together quietly, father and daughter, stronger than the storm that tried to shake them. Dad, she whispered, yes, do you think everything really changed? He looked at her with the steady confidence of someone who had seen the world in its hardest places. Change always starts with one person brave enough to speak up, he said. Yesterday, that person was you. Maya smiled, a bright, hopeful smile. And in that moment, the world felt right again.